They told me quiet was safer, but truth started knocking at the door. Blue lights in the rear view, but my soul ain't running no more. I was walking through the smoke where the lies get sold. Silver tongue shining, but the heart stayed cold. They dressed up chains like freedom, called the dark new light. But I heard a voice in scripture cutting clean through the night.
They said don't ask questions, just follow the sound. But the truth don't fear the courtroom, and the word don't back down. So I opened up the pages, let the fire testify. Every crooked little shadow had to step into the light.
So read me my rights, but read them from the book. No more poison in the water, no more bait upon the hook. If the world wants my confession, let heaven take the stand. I put my hand on the Bible, not the lies of man.
You have the
right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to the Bible. You have the right to truth. You have the right to knowledge. You have the right to see. You have the right to walk away from lies and corruption trying to keep you on your knees. You have the right to the Bible. You have the right to truth. No chains on my soul tonight. The word came breaking you.
I let the record show I ain't scared of the case. Truth got scars, but it still got grace. Cross-examine every claim, every whisper, every tone. If it can't face the light, let it fall on its own.
They can spin that script, they can dress that crime, but wisdom keeps rhythm with eternal time. I ain't buying cheap peace from a crooked booth. I need living water, I need bone deep truth.
No more fear in the hallway, no more sleep in the cell. I heard bells from the chapel ring louder than hell. When the sirens start screaming, I don't break, I pray. Because the truth is the door, and the word is the way.
So read me my rights, we'll read them with fire. Let the Bible be my witness, let the truth take me higher. If the world wants my silence, let the heavens reply. Every lie meets a verdict when the word walks by. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to the Bible. You have the right to truth. You have the right to knowledge. You have the right to see. You have the right to walk away from lies and corruption trying to keep you on your knees. You have the right to the Bible. You have the right to truth. No chains on my soul tonight. The word came breaking through.
Right.
Read me my rights, but read them from the book. Truth took the stand,
and every lie shook.
Good day, g'day, g'day. God bless you, each and every single one of you, wherever you may find yourselves. So, I tested out the topic today, people. I went to a guy's live. His name was Rashid. Now, if you guys don't remember, I cooked Rashid a couple of times so far, but Rashid didn't learn. He brought me up again. He brought me up, and after bringing me up, I asked him this one question. Now, this question was something that me and Chris Claus were talking about yesterday on his review. For those that haven't watched it, you guys can go and watch it again. So Rashid was talking to a guy, and he was telling the guy that, yeah, you have a god. He said, which one of the gods, when took a dump, Was it all the gods, or was it just, which god took a dump? You know how the Muslims are, because their mind is in the toilet. Now, he said, I'm proud, and I can proudly say that my God is 100%. That's what he said. He said, my God is 100% Allah. So I needed to request. So I requested. When I got up there, I said, okay, so your God is 100% Allah. He said, yes. I said, is Allah's shin 100% Allah too? And that's how long I lasted on the live. That's how long I lasted before he dropped me. He dropped me saying, oh, you can't talk to this guy. So, I said, I'm going to do this topic. And he says his dump has consciousness. Oh, my Lord. So notice now. So I just got thinking about this yesterday when I was talking to, now Logic, man. This guy called Logic, I'm going to send him a message and tell him to just stop it, Logic. Stop it, Logic. What are you doing to these people, man? You causing these people to become, not even less than, but man, you causing these people to lose their minds because you're asking them logical questions. Now, because of this logical question, we have this dilemma of the shin dilemma. We have the shin dilemma. Remember when I asked the guy, he said, Allah is 100%, not even a little bit of Allah is 100% God. So does that mean his shin is also 100% God? Is Allah's shin Allah? If I worship the shin of Allah, am I worshiping Allah? See, that's not a difficult question. That's not a difficult question. Now, the Muslims are definitely going to be, deflecting, your God has hands. But do they understand what the hands mean? The power of God. The power. This is, we can't be listening to these people and then watch the deflection. This is why, I've been trying, I always say that I'm very topic focused. To jump topics is allowing these people to hide from what their books are saying. Now, I've got a video, as you can see, I've got a video of that Muslims are definitely agreeing to the fact that they have, let me just see, is that the one I want? Yeah. So they Muslims, they have this thing where Allah has all these parts. And you saw the guy called Creed yesterday when we went through the live with him and Logic, admitting and then realizing what he said. So you had to recant what he said and change. And then, it's watching a Muslim's mind work is fascinating. It's fascinating. It's like, when you flush the toilet and it goes in circles before it disappears, that's fascinating. Oh my Lord. But let me give you guys an example, right? So when we're looking at what Allah has given us, what the Muslims have given us, what Islam has given us, we're not the ones making these things up. So for example, Allah has a face. If I worship the face of Allah, am I worshiping Allah? If I'm worshiping the face of Allah, am I also worshiping the shin of Allah? Is the shin and Allah's face one and the same, or are they different parts of Allah? So in the Quran, in Surah 55:27, we need to understand what it says. So we read it in context. Let me just add this link. Sorry, I forgot about adding the link. I forget, man. I forget these things. I forgot these things. Let me just see. 142. You need to go to 143 there. Let me go there and there. And what was I doing, guys? Oh, the link. That's right. See that, man? Well, way too much going on. Okay, just let me add the link to this over here. And hopefully we get, guys, it's going to be a shorter live today. I've got things to do. Unfortunately, things are always, there we go. Okay, so that's gone there. Beautiful. So, Muslims, the question again is, how many gods do you have? Can I worship the one God? Is that enough? But we're gonna just we went off on a tangent there. So, Allah has a real face. He has the most perfect and majestic face. Yet it is totally different from the faces of creation. This is what the Muslims are telling us, right? He has a face, but it's unlike the faces in creation. So how do we know this? In the Quran, Surah 55:27, 55:27 says, he says, and Allah destroys this world. He says, there will remain the face of your Lord that is of majesty and honor. That is of honor, majesty and honor. Now, I'm reading from this site where it's teaching you about how Allah's how they're real, right? Because it goes on and says over here that when we do a good deed, we should do it purely for Allah. We usually say that we do it for Allah's sake, Allah's pleasure, but it's often described in the Quran and Hadith as doing the deeds for Allah's face. For example, in the Quran, Surah 92, 17 to 20, it says, a person who is pious will be saved from it. He who gives his money to purify himself does not leave on himself favors due to others and only seeks the face of his Lord, the Most High. But to understand this in its totality, I'm reading from a site called the Precious Gems of the Quran and Sunnah. The site is called the Precious Gems of the Quran and Sunnah.wordpress.com. Now, it says this. There are qualities of humans and other creatures that describe body parts. We call them bodily or physical qualities. Hand and face and foot are examples of physical qualities. We know exactly what it means to say that a person has a face, a hand, or a foot. We also know that a human's foot is different from that of a cow or a table. Allah tells us that some of his qualities have the physical names. When we study these qualities, we should keep in mind the following guidelines. There are qualities, these qualities are real because Allah tells us about himself and is real and accurate. Notice again, according to the site, it says that these qualities are real because what Allah tells us about himself, is real. And then it goes on and says, these qualities cannot have physical meanings because they belong to Allah who created the physical world we live in. You cannot imagine how these qualities are for Allah because they are beyond our human ability. We know for sure that Allah's qualities are not like his creation. We know for sure Allah's qualities are supreme and perfect. We only describe Allah with the qualities of physical names that he describes himself with. For example, we cannot say Allah has a body because he does not say it. Among Allah's qualities with physical names are face, eyes, hands, and foot. Now, notice again that what this is teaching us now is that Allah describes himself and we can't add to what Allah has described himself, right? We can't. But the point of this whole thing is that Allah is saying it. Now we're going to watch a video now. And as always, with the Muslims, we're going to let the Muslims talk. We're going to let the Muslims explain it. And we'll see from a Muslim perspective if Allah has hands, face, eyes, nose, mouth, whatever. Let's just see. Please, guys, tap, and tap again. Keep tapping that screen, both on YouTube and on TikTok. I'm going to be on it for an hour and a half-ish more. As I said, got to do something. If you guys can, please just keep tapping that screen. So let's get to this video and then we can start. And hopefully the Muslims will be willing to join in. Okay, that was the wrong way. No, that's the right way. Okay, so now, does Allah has a shape? Okay, that's bad English there. And then it goes on and tells you that he has two hands.
So Allah described in the Quran that he has a face.
Allah mentioned that we made
I just realized as well, guys, I am having internet problems. Not sure why. Everything's supposed to be 100% sorted, and I tested this before. Not sure what's going on, but forgive it. Forgive me. You know, the devil doesn't want you to know the truth. So he keeps on fighting us, hiding the truth from all these people, man.
Adam by our hands.
Allah
Seriously, people. Seriously.
described in the Quran that he has two hands.
The hadith says very clearly that both his hands are right.
We believe that both of the hands of Allah are what? Huh? كلتا يديه يمين. Both of them are right. How? I don't know.
The saq here refers to Allah's shin. So he has a leg.
Surah Qalam, Surah number 68, ayat number 42. The shin of Allah is mentioned.
Allah says in Surah Al-Qalam that on the day of judgment, Allah Azza wa Jal would uplift and show his leg.
If you read Sahih al-Bukhari, the fingers of Allah are mentioned.
The Prophet tells us that the Prophet that Allah Azza wa Jal has fingers.
The Quran says that Allah has one eye, and another ayah says he has multiple eyes.
Allah tells us about himself subhanahu wa ta'ala that he has an eye.
So all these are a direct indication that Allah has got a shape.
So Allah described in the Quran that he has a face.
Allah mentioned that we made Adam by our hands.
Allah described in the Quran that he has two hands.
The hadith says very clearly that both his hands are right.
We believe that both of the hands of Allah are what? Huh? كلتا يديه يمين. Both of them are right. How? I don't know.
The saq here refers to Allah's shin. So he has a leg.
Surah Qalam, Surah number 68, ayat number 42. The shin of Allah is mentioned.
Allah says in Surah Al-Qalam that on the day of judgment, Allah Azza wa Jal would uplift and show his leg.
If you read Sahih al-Bukhari, the fingers of Allah are mentioned.
The Prophet tells us that that Allah Azza wa Jal has fingers.
The Quran says that Allah has one eye,
Alrighty.
and another ayah says he has multiple.
Stop. What is wrong with you? Stop. Now, in this video, since I watched this video, I got six violations. 6 violations on TT. 6 restrictions on TT. Visibility discontinued in some regions. Gifting suspended. Hate speech 3 times. Can you believe that? All of this in this 20-30 second video. 20-30 second video, I've been given 6 hits. Gifting is suspended for the next 7.5 minutes as well. So, just saying. Can't make this up, people. Can't make this up. Now, let's just turn the camera again. So we don't have to have that on the screen. There we go. So the question I asked on the live that I went to the last time. Sam, God bless you, man. That's right, Sam. So the question I asked the guy on the chat today when he was trying to be smart about how many gods died on the cross, which God took a dump? Was it the God Jesus? If Jesus was Yahweh, did Yahweh take a dump? You know, the things that the Muslims think about, because that's where their mind is, that's where their heart is, that's where their brain is. So my question then, when I went up, was, if Allah has all these hands, fingers, eyes, eye, shin. Now, I'll read the verses. Now, I said to you, the one is the face. That's Surah 55:27. Then it goes on when it talks about, indeed, Allah commands you to pray. And when you pray, do not turn away. Indeed, Allah turns his face towards his servants during his prayer unless he turns away. Then Allah has eyes. Allah has eyes. It says Allah's eyes are real. He says his eyes are most perfect, yet they are totally different from the eyes of creation. Allah mentions his eyes in the Quran, saying in Surah 54:14, it, Noah's Ark, sailed under the watch of our eyes as a reward for those believers who were rejected. Now, I'm not saying that this is not a metaphor, but the Muslims are saying this is not a metaphor. The Muslims are saying he has actual eyes, but they're just different to our eyes. Then it goes on, because the ayah actually means that Allah watched Noah's ark. He saved Noah and the few believers with him from the flood. The flood unalived all the believers who rejected Noah's message. And it says we must always remember that Allah's qualities are not like ours or others or other creations. We may not think of Allah's eyes as having color, muscles, or eyelids. These qualities are made by Allah, and they only apply to his creation. His eyes are nothing like ours. So it says, so we believe that Allah has eyes. They are most perfect. He sees and watches with them, but we do not and cannot know how they are. Then Allah has hands. According to Islam, Allah has hands. And then it says Allah has real hands. His hands are most perfect, yet they are totally different from the hands of creation. What Allah does with his hands. Allah mentions his hands in the Quran. For example, he tells us he created Adam with them. So now, if I worshipped the hands of Allah, am I worshipping Allah? So the question is, how many gods do Muslims have? If Allah's hands are Allah and I'm worshipping his hands, am I worshipping Allah? And that's right. Who is the one that cuts his fingernails, or does he bite them? Another verse tells us, it says that the entire earth will be in his hand or in his grip on the day of resurrection, and the heavens will be folded like his right hand. Since he only has right hands, that's Surah 39:67. So Allah spends and gives to creation with his hands or hand. Abu Huraira reported that the Prophet said, indeed, Allah's hand is always full and is never decreased by spending. It is generous night and day. Look at what he spent since he created the heavens and the earth, of all not decrease with what is in his right hand. And that's in Bukhari 46:84, Muslim 99:3. So one of the Prophet's frequent oaths was to say, by the one whose hand my soul has my soul. So Allah tells that of Allah's life is, Allah is in full control of our life and our death. It goes on, guys. It talks about Allah's fingers. Allah has fingers. It says Allah has real fingers. His fingers are most perfect, yet they're totally different from the fingers of creation. Sure, it doesn't have nails. Muhammad tells us that Allah's fingers, Abdul bin Amr bin As reported that Muhammad said, indeed, all of the hearts of the human beings are between the two fingers of Rahman, the most merciful. To him, they are all like one heart that he controls as he wishes. So now we're breaking it down for the people. Now we're trying to understand this. This, according to this site, Allah's hands, feet, and all of these things are 100% real. Now we get to Allah's leg. It says, Allah has a real leg. His leg is most perfect, yet it is totally different from the legs of creation. The Prophet tells us about Allah's leg. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri reported that the Prophet said, our Lord will show his leg on Judgment Day. He will show his leg on Judgment Day. So every believing man and woman will make sujood to him, but not for those who pretend to make sujood in the first life for show off and reputation. They will try to make sujood, but their backs will turn into one block. That's recorded in Bukhari 49:19, Sahih Muslim 183. Then it goes on and says, the hadith tells us that Allah's leg will be a sign for the believers. A sign for the believers. Hang on a second. Can you guys see my shin? How do you know that that's not the shin of Allah, people? I just showed you my shin. How do you know that my shin is not the shin of Allah? Did anyone recognize my shin? Oh my Lord. Allah's foot. Allah has a real foot. His foot is most perfect, yet it is totally different from the feet of creation. For those that are asking about the site is called Precious Gems from the Quran and Sunnah.wordpress.com. And then you just search Allah's face, eyes, hands, fingers, leg, foot, and all-seeing Allah. So, according to this, his foot is perfect, different from creation, but nonetheless a foot. Anas and Abu Huraira reported that Muhammad said, in the year after, more and more disbelievers will be thrown into hell. And hell will say, is there more? Finally, the Lord of dignity will place his foot over it. Then it will then shrink down and say, enough, enough, your honor, enough, enough. So this is again recorded in Bukhari 48:48, 48:50, Sahih Muslim 28:46 and 28:48. Now it says, this tells us that there will be a place in hell for every disbeliever. Hell will be raging with greed and hunger. It will continue to ask for more and more evil people, even after all people have already been thrown into it. Only Allah can then stop it from asking for more. With a great show of power and dignity, Allah will place his foot over it. This will subdue it, and it will stop asking for more. And then Allah is all-seeing. So it says, no human can see Allah in this life. Remember, Muhammad lied and said he saw him in a perfect form. And then it says, in this life, no one can see Allah. This is how Allah made the people. Even the prophets were not able to see him. Tell Muhammad that, please. Allah tells us about Musa. He says, when Musa came to the meeting with us, and the Lord spoke to him, he said, my Lord, allow me to see you. He said, you will not be able to see me. Now, it says over here, an important lesson from the Aisha. She said, if anyone tells you that Muhammad saw his Lord, he has made a great lie against Allah. But hang on, didn't Muhammad just say that he saw him in his perfect form? So now going on again, it says, and he, Allah, Muhammad, has already seen him in the clear horizon. I'm very confused there. So anyone that said he saw him is a liar, but Masruq was surprised to hear this. He said, O mother of believers, be easy on me and do not rush me. Does Allah not say he, Muhammad, has already seen him in the clear horizon? And he says, that's in Surah 81:23. And then he says, and he saw him on another time coming down in Surah 53:13. So Aisha said, I was first to ask Allah's messenger about this, and he told me this was only Jibreel. So notice again, even on the site, they're arguing on the site between whether you can or you can't see Allah, but that's neither here nor there. He says, I did not see him in the actual form of Allah created him except those 2 times. I saw him coming down from the sky. He was so huge that he covered all space from the earth to the sky. Aisha then reminded Masruh of what Allah says, and he says, eyesight cannot see him, but he sees all eyesights. And he is a subtle and kind, aware of everything, blah, blah, blah. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting to the point where we've seen that Allah has, according to the site, actual eyes, actual fingers, actual hands, actual feet, actual everything. It's real. It's all real. We haven't got to the question yet. So it says as well over here that according to this, it says the believers will see Allah in Jannah. But hang on, I'm confused about that. You don't see him because he doesn't enter creation. We saw earlier that it is not possible for anyone to see Allah in this life. It is therefore hereafter Allah will make it possible and easy for believers to see him. Bin Abdullah reported that he and other companions were with the Prophet one night. When there was a full moon, the Prophet looked up into the moon and said, You will surely see your Lord, just as you can see this full moon. It will not hurt you to look at him. MashaAllah. So Allah enters creation at some point. And this is in Sahih Bukhari 554, also in Sahih Muslim 633. So it'll be very easy for believers to see him. Now, let's get down to it. I mean, there's more to it. It keeps going on and on and on and on about Allah and his parts. Now, my question is, how many gods do Muslims have? Is Allah his shin? Is the shin connected to some body, not somebody, but a body that is connected to the hand, the two right hands, connected to the fingers, connected to the eyes, connected to the face? Or are each of these separate, different, unattached? Are each of these by themselves, outside of a body, just like floating? Is the shin floating there by itself? Are the eyes floating there by itself? The face, is that like just floating by itself, or are all these parts of Allah connected to Allah? Now remember, according to the site I'm reading and according to the video we just watched, yes, according to these things, Allah does have all these face, eyes, hands, and whatever else you want to call them. So he has all of this. And if he has all of this, then we have to ask our question, are those things actually Allah? And this is why when Logic asked that question, that was just an absolute brilliant question, which kind of shook the ground that this guy called Creed was sitting on. I mean, Creed wasn't expecting that. And he then pretended like he didn't understand it. It was quite fascinating to watch. Can you say that you're worshipping Allah if you worship his shin? So if there's any Muslims that want to join, let me just check. Any Muslims that want to join, you're more than welcome to join. And while we're doing that, since we don't have any Muslims, let's just watch a couple of more videos to see if, now again, remember that these people are arguing the fact that they haven't made up their minds whether he does or he doesn't. It could be that it's just, it's a figure of speech. It's just a metaphor for something. But all we want to do is just, ask, because these Muslims are being nasty. Let's be honest. These Muslims are being nasty. They're being cocky. They're trying to be smart. They're attacking the fact that we have, that God was able to become man, not man becoming a God like they want you to believe. And they want to talk about him taking a dump. Show me the verse where he took a dump. I'm just saying that. But besides that, if he did, it would have been because he was in the flesh. He was truly God, truly man. And if he was truly man, then he did things that man would do. It's not a problem for us, but the Muslims want everything to be something that it's not. Hang on, I got a guest. How are you there, sir?
What's up, James?
You Muslim?
I'm gonna send you something. You will like it.
I hope it's a parcel full of cash.
Yeah, I'm a Muslim. Alhamdulillah.
Are you inebriated right now?
What?
Are you inebriated? Are you
What
tired?
do you mean by that?
Are you tired?
Oh yeah, I'm tired.
Okay. So you sure you're Muslim, right?
Alhamdulillah, mashallah, bismillah, I am. Allahu Akbar.
Yeah, okay, man. Guys, if you please, let's get some Muslims up, please, guys. Let's get some Muslims up. While we're doing that, as I said, I want to just present some other videos with where we're gonna learn from the Muslims and see what they actually tell us, whether Allah is believing this or not, and is it something that all Muslims believe in, or is it just limited to a certain group of Muslims? Because again, as I'm saying, the more Muslims that are telling us that Allah is all of these things, then we just want to make sure that we're understanding it from a Muslim perspective. Because again, the Muslims are confusing us. They're saying we believe in one God. Now, Logic did something amazing. When he spoke to, I forget the guy's name, Creed, he said to him, don't go to Surah Ikhlas, because we're trying to find out, is Allah a person? Can you show us a verse where Allah says that he's a person, that he has personhood? And Surah Ikhlas doesn't qualify him as a person. We don't know. It doesn't tell us what he is or who he is. It just leaves it blank. So this is why we're asking the question. If it's possible, help us understand. No reasons. God bless you, brother. Again, Logic asked the question. I'm asking now the question to the Muslims that are reporting me, because I know you there. You've reported me 3 times so far for hate speech. My question then is, how many gods do you have? Is the shin of Allah connected to the face of Allah? Is there a body that is connected, putting them all together? Or are they floating around individually? Are each of those Allah itself, himself? And I'd appreciate if a Muslim could request up. Any Muslim. I had 2 people requesting and now both are gone. Okay. Any Muslim that wants to just make this make sense, because we're trying to understand this. As I said, I wasn't a Muslim live, and the Muslim on his live was saying they have the only religion that can claim Allah is 100%, he said, 100% God. When I asked him about the shin and if I can worship the shin, that's when I was dropped. So, this is now the shin dilemma. Could call it the eye dilemma. The body parts that Allah has is confusing to all of us. Any Muslim that wants to make us understand, YouTube, TikTok, more than welcome to request up, guys. I've got an hour and a half, so you guys must just please join. Come on, man. Where are the Muslims at? Any Muslim that wants to make it make sense. Can I worship the hand of Allah? If I worship the hand of Allah, does it mean I'm also worshiping the shin of Allah? If I worship the shin of Allah, I'm also worshipping the eye of Allah or the eyes of Allah. So, in his car, CD, he got it in his car. He gets special parking privileges. Any Muslim, come on, man. This can't be difficult. You guys walk around saying we are so proud because we believe in one God. You guys tell us so proudly we believe in one God. You say, Tawheed, one God, Ahad, Tawheed. I'm asking you guys now just to make it make sense. Any Muslim, those that are reporting, if you want to join in, you're more than welcome to. Those that are trying to get me suspended or lose the live stream, you're more than welcome to come up. It's not going to be a long one. You can just come up and tell us, explain it to us, and then you can run. If not, I'm going to have to read you from Islam Q&A. Again, I'm just trying to keep it the same. Islam Q&A. It says, I'm a teacher of Arabic language, and based on my literary perspective, my literary perspective and my study of metaphor, I think that some of the verses which speak of the divine attributes are more metaphorical than literal. This is 1400 years, people. They still haven't decided if Allah is a man, if Allah is a spirit, if Allah is a tree, if Allah has literal hands or metaphorical hands. 1400 years, these guys are still circling this question, thinking it's the Kaaba. Then it goes on and says, for example, when Allah, may be exalted, says, the hand of Allah is over their hands in Surah 48:10, what is meant is power and might. I do not think that it's a hand in the real sense of the word. Similarly, when He, Allah, says, for verily you are under our eyes, in Surah 52:48, what is meant is under our care and protection. Now you see, I don't have a problem with this. I don't have a problem with this, because this would be the metaphorical meaning if you had a God that was actually in spirit. But we can see that they don't have a God that's spirit. We don't know what their God is. And if they don't know what their God is, then it's very confusing for them to have a meaning or an understanding of what or who their God is. So Muslims don't know who or what their God is, right? And then it goes on and says, my sense of language refuses to accept that it is referring to an eye in a real sense. Can you explain this matter to me? Now, this is where it gets a little bit, just a wee bit crazy now. Remember, we just read a site where they said that everything was real. He has a real hand, but unlike our hands. He has a real shin, but unlike our shin. He has a real face, but unlike our face. This guy says, I refuse, because of his sense of language, I refuse to accept that. What is the answer? Oh, hang on. Islam Q&A says, correct belief should be based on what is proven in the Quran and Sunnah, as understood by the early generations, the Salaf, of this Ummah, namely the Sahaba and the Tabi'in and the leading scholars. They were unanimously agreed that the divine attributes mentioned in the Quran and Sunnah are to be affirmed without discussing how or liking him to his creation, and without denying any of his attributes or interpreting them in a different way from apparent meaning. What an absolute cop-out. What a cop-out. It's like, oh, dude, don't question it. Just accept it, man. Just accept it. Goes on. It says, where did I stop? It goes on and says, it says, we do not differentiate between any of the divine attributes, no matter what category they come under. Every divine attribute that is mentioned is in the Sahih text must be affirmed. So it must be affirmed that his eyes are his eyes. It's not a metaphor. You need to affirm it as it is. So it says the Quran and Sunnah came to teach people about the attributes of their God. Now, if you don't know about the attributes, then it says question. But over here, it's saying don't question it. Don't think about it. Just accept it. And then it says, and this can only be done by understanding the words in a real sense. So don't make it a metaphor. It's real. So when the Muslims are saying that their God, that they believe in one God, and then prove otherwise, and then they quote Tawheed and Ahad, notice how their own scholars at the start are cooking them. They're getting cooked by their own people. So then it goes on and says, the Quran and Sunnah came to teach people about the attributes of God, and this can only be done by understanding the words in the real sense. This is the basic principle with regards to the statements. The Prophet Muhammad conveyed the Quran in both wording and meaning. Not a single letter was narrated from him to suggest that any of his divine attributes should be interpreted in any way different from its apparent meaning, or that its apparent meaning is not intended. So according to this guy, saying if Allah says that you'll recognize his shin, he's talking about his shin. It's not a metaphor for something else, unless the Muslims can now tell me what the metaphor is. Will do. I will check it. Where I go now? Let's see. This was casting. Okay, there we go. It says this is casting aspersions upon the Quran or upon the messenger who was enjoined to convey and explain it. If anything of what they had mentioned was essential, the Quran and the Prophet would have explained it and not concealed it. So because there's no explanation about his shin, we have to accept it for what it is. It says, how could it be otherwise when it is proven in a number of Sahih Hadiths and on the authenticity of which is agreed upon, that these attributes are to be affirmed. I just want to highlight a bit of that. And there are other attributes mentioned in the hadith, such as his descending, his foot, his smiling, his rejoicing, without any word to suggest that they should be understood in a way different from the apparent meaning, and without any Sahabi having found it problematic to take them to, they appear to be, and according to what may be understood for them. Now, I hope you guys are paying attention. According to this, and this is from Islam Q&A. Islam Q&A. All you go into is 151794. Islam Q&A 151794. This is explaining the divine attributes given to Allah and how they are supposed to be affirmed as literal, not metaphorical. Literal. So he has a literal shin, he has literal eyes, a literal face, literal hands, literal fingers, 2 literal right hands. All of this according to this site that I'm on now. Then it goes on and says, if there was anything in the apparent meaning that should be regarded as not befitting or the divine or the likening to the divine to any created being, and it is not possible for there to be any such thing in the Quran and Sunnah, then the infallible Muhammad would have pointed it out and highlighted it to the people, and the people of reason at that time would have questioned it, for they were more eager to attain good and to adhere to it. Wow. When innovations appeared, so now we know he has literal body parts. His body parts are literal. When innovations appeared and people emerged who said that these attributes were to be understood in a metaphorical rather than a real sense, as was the view of the Jamis and the Mutazila, and those who agreed with them, the earlier generations and leading scholars responded by stating that these attributes are to be understood in a real sense, not a metaphorical sense. Their comments on this matter were blatant and well known. We will quote some of their comments here. People, so Allah, according to Islam, has a literal foot, a literal shin, a literal hand, a literal 2 right hands. Woo-hoo. All of this is literal. And then it goes on. So it says, Uthman ibn Sayyid al-Darimi said, may he be exalted, we know about the concept of metaphors from the language of the Arabs, which you have taken and used to confuse and mislead the ignorant. So by saying that these are metaphors, you're literally leading people astray. You're taking them out. You're making them get confused. By means of this concept, you denied the reality of the divine attributes on the basis of the metaphor argument. But we say it is wrong to judge the most common style in the Arabic language on the basis of its rarest style. Rather, we should understand that the statements of the Arabs on the basis of the most common style, unless you can produce proof that what is meant here is a rare style. What is meant here is a rare style metaphor, and this is the approach that is most fair, and it is right to approach the divine attributes that are well known and understood as they appear to be by people of common sense, and twist the meaning on the grounds that these are metaphors. So, to call these metaphors is to go against Islam. 2 more restrictions. To go against this is to go against Islam. Let's keep going. Then you've got another guy who is called Imam Abu Ja'far Muhammad ibn Jabir al-Tabari. No way. Tabari saying something now? What you gonna say, man? What you gonna say? If someone were to say, what is the proper approach with regards to the meaning of those attributes that you have mentioned, some of which are mentioned in the book on the revelation of Allah, and some were mentioned by the messenger of Allah, our response is the correct view, the correct approach in our view is to affirm the meaning in a real sense without likening them to creation. That's why the Muslims will always say, yes, he has hands, but unlike hands in creation. That's fine. I'll go with that. That's okay. That's fine. As Allah said himself in the Quran, there is nothing like unto him, and he is the all-hearer, all-seer. Surah 42:11. And we affirm all the meanings that we are mentioned in the reports and the Quran and the revelations, yada yada yada. There's also there's loads of people explaining themselves. Point being, guys, according to Islam, now from the scholars right at the start of everything, the scholars are confirming that it's literal. This is not a metaphor. Allah's having a hand, a shin, a finger, an eye is not a metaphor. It's 100% Allah, meaning the hand of Allah is Allah. The foot of Allah is Allah. Rewind to my topic. So how many gods do you have? Muslims? Do you have 99 attributes that are not Allah, that are eternal, as well as all these different parts of Allah? Does your God have parts? Is he composite? Does if I worship the shin of Allah, am I worshipping Allah? Is the shin of Allah the same as the eyes of Allah? Is that one Allah? So this is now my go-to when I go to a Muslim where it says, ask me a question. The last time it was 7157, which I didn't last long on those live panels. I didn't last more than a minute on this other guy, Rashid's panel, asking this question because he noticed that he was cooked. Now, sometimes I've got to go into these lives where I've got to be quick and fast and speak, because I know they're going to drop me. It's a matter of seconds, not even a matter of minutes before they drop me. So now again, right? Remember, now we're talking from the earliest scholars confirming that these are not metaphors. If we have a Muslim in 2026 saying the opposite, who is it that I should listen to, people? According to Islam, it's the first 3 generations. These are the best. So who am I supposed to listen to? Not sure who I'm supposed to listen to. Must I listen to this Muppets in 2026? Or am I supposed to go, it's okay, because Creed said it, so it has to be true. Abdul said it, so it has to be true. Ahmed said it, so it has to be true. Let's ignore these people from before, because these guys must know, something that those guys don't know. It has to be so. It just has to be in a way that these guys must have information that we don't have. And it took me a couple of seconds to find this information. I literally did the search about on Islam Q&A, just asking Google about the parts of Allah. So where are the Muslims? If there's any Muslim that wants to just join, I told you guys got an hour and a bit, just an hour and a bit before I have to drop. I need to go do stuff. So if there's any Muslim that wants to join in and just make it make sense, please, if there's any Muslim that wants to make it make sense, join. Tell me which of your Sahaba, which of your the earliest scholars confirm that Allah's parts are his parts and they're not metaphors. Let me see that. That will go against what I just read now, where we can see that looking at, for example, Abd al-Bar, who mentioned that it's literal, unless you're going to say something that it's not. This is what happens when you do a wee bit of research. We believe in one God, Allahu Akbar, Ahad, Tawheed. I'm confused about Ahad and Tawheed right now. Ahad means one of, Tawheed means unification. So this would make sense that you have to unify the body parts of Allah to make Allah one God. If you had to unify each of Allah's parts, then that would give you Allah. And this is what the Muslims are afraid of, is the fact that Allah is a unified, it's partialism. He's a composite God. He needs his parts. Now, the Muslims' only excuse would be, your God has hands. Your God has this. You said your God has eyes. Your God can see. That will be the only excuse they're going to come with. That's the only answer, I promise you guys, if a Muslim does ever request. That's where they're going to go to. Because that's where the Muslim's mind is. His mind is exactly there. So the question for you guys, if you want to get a pen and paper, is to ask this question. I'll give you guys a couple of questions that you can ask them. And this is interesting now that we can see this, right? We're looking at Allah's attributes or Allah's parts. Allah's attributes or Allah's parts. And when you're reading, when you're asking these questions, you got to break it down right from the start. And this is, I don't know if you guys have your pen and papers ready. I'll give you a couple of seconds in case you do want to make a note. This is how you started. You said, are the many parts of Allah or the predicates of Allah, are they identical to each other? Wait for an answer. See what they come with. The next question would be, if we take all of these predicates, all of these parts, all of these attributes that are not each other, the hand and the foot are not each other, and we put them together, do we then get Allah? That's right, Lemo. My lives are empty, brother. They've been restricted already. But you're right. My lives are empty, bro. Do we put all these things together? Do we get Allah? Another one would be, you ask them, so all of these predicates, are they Allah? All of these predicates, are they Allah? And then you can say all these predicates that are not each other, but when put together, then they give you Allah. Then what does that make Allah? I'm doing amazing things with my time, Limo. You're saying that, no, my lives are empty. And you're saying, imagine what you could do with this time. My man, there could be one person listening, man, just one person. And if that person's a Muslim and they're listening to what I'm saying, they will leave. They will leave, man. Because you guys have no answers. So why don't, if you're a Muslim, Limo, request up and let's have this conversation. Now that there's no one listening, it's just me and you. Just you and I. Request up, and then you tell me. Come up, Limo. Let me send you an invite. Don't be shy. Don't be shy, man. I sent you an invite. See, it's not difficult. We're having conversations, something that you can't do. Were you waiting for your backups? Anyway, so the question would be then, if I take Allah's arm, Allah's shin, Allah's eyes, Allah's face, Allah's this, Allah's that, put them all together, do I get an Allah? Give me an Allah in the house, man. Allah. So a car, for example, if I took a car, the tires of the car is not the car. The engine of the car is not the car. The body of the car is not a car without the engine and the tires. For the car to be called a car, you need all these parts put together. And only when these parts are put together do you get a car. Right? Only when you put these parts together, you get a car. So if Allah is not Allah with just his shin, what is Allah missing? Like Islam is incomplete. Islam is incomplete with only Allah and the Quran. To complete Islam, you need Allah, Quran, Muhammad, Hadith. Only then is Islam complete. A car needs all its parts to be complete. Allah, again, will need his 99 attributes, his hands, feet, eyes, ears, fingers, shin, whatever, all of these as well, put together to be Allah. So is the shin of Allah eternal? They would say yes. Is the shin of Allah Allah? They would say maybe. Because if they say yes, then we don't need his hands. Because if his hands are not his shin, you've got a different problem. So I'm just going to leave it there for the Muslims. I think that the Muslims realize that they are so cooked. They are just so cooked. Thank you, Elijah. They are just so cooked. All we have to do is read. All we have to do is read. The 99 names of Allah, the 99 attributes of Allah are supposed to be eternal, yet they are not Allah. So how many eternals do you have, guys? How many eternals do you have if the God of Islam is made up of all of these parts? The composite. I mean, this guy's like a jigsaw puzzle. He's like a Lego puzzle. He's like Legoland itself. You go buy your box of Legos. You've got like 1,000 parts to it. You need to put these parts together to get whatever you're trying to make. In Islam, the God of Islam, the Allah of Islam, they tell you he's one. One what? One who? Yeah, he's one of. Ahad, one of. Where are Muslims at? Why can't the Muslims, instead of reporting me, because they'll pop in and out. I can see them popping in and then leaving again. They just come in probably to report and then they leave again. So Phil, he's in bits and pieces. Any Muslims? Where are you Muslims? Why can't you guys just have conversations, civilized conversation? You guys want to talk about you the only religion that has one God? You guys say that you don't understand the Trinity. You guys say that we believe in 3 gods. So I'm asking you guys to come up and prove it. I mean, how can we've gone through so much of this religion, and still to this day, Muslims cannot make it make sense on the topics they want us to go to. They want to tell us that we believe in 3 gods, and then they use the same belief system that their God is one. Their God is one, and then they want you to understand that all his parts, even though they're not him, are one with him. That they're all eternal, but they're not him. Can't make this up, people. I mean, I've gone through now both evidence from Islam Q&A. I've explained to you guys how, according to the site that we had before this, how they confirm. The site is called again. I forgot the name of the site. Yeah, there we go. It's called, for those that don't know, it's called Precious Gems from the Quran and Sunnah. Precious Gems from the Quran and Sunnah. Also, Islam Q&A that tell us that these are literal, not metaphorical. Allah's hands, eyes, ears are physical, are literal, not metaphorical. So my question is, if I worship the shin of Allah, am I worshipping Allah? If I worship the hand of Allah, am I worshipping Allah? Is the hand and the foot identical to each other? If they're identical to each other, and I worship the hand and the foot, am I also worshipping the eyes of Allah? Are the eyes, hands, and foot, are they Allah without the face? These types of simple questions are putting Muslims in a bit of a pickle. This is, I mean, how, remember that their biggest claim, when you ask a Muslim, why are you a Muslim? He'll tell you, because we believe in one God. We believe in one God. So let's talk about your one God. Any Muslim, both YouTube and TikTok, YT and TT, it's right there for you. If you want to join in, you're more than welcome to. That'll be very, you're more than welcome to. Let me just say it like that so that we can have a conversation and you guys can tell me that maybe I got it wrong. Maybe I misunderstood something. Maybe I need to, shape up my argument. Maybe if there's any Christian in here that thinks that my argument is a bit weak, or I should, work on it, please let me know. If you think that this is a weak question, a weak argument, I'll stop it. But if you think that this deserves an answer, then we need to ask the question. Any Muslim? And just a quick check. Am I freezing on the YouTube and TikTok? Is it stuck? Do I have to get some kind of technician over here? Do I have to call my IT department? Just checking. Can you guys just, if everything is okay, just give me a 1 in the chat, please. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, it's not freezing there. It's jamming up on the video. Okay. Yeah, because I can't even get to watch. I was going to show you guys a few more videos of how the Muslims are confirming that yes, Allah does have shins or body parts. I mean, I wanted you guys to see it for yourselves. I'm not sure. Not sure why this is going on. Let me just show you guys the picture that I was thinking of, the thing I'm showing you. So again, based on what we have and what we've seen, you can't say to me that it's my fault, it's me that's making or creating something that's not there. Because if you look at the sources of Islam, in Surah 564, it says Allah has 2 right hands. Both his hands are right hands according to the Hadith. He has 1 shin only. In Surah 68:42, he has 2 feet. He has an eye. This again is the picture of, and the thing is, they've actually found artifacts, they found sculptures, they found figures, shapes of this nonsense. So there was this God out there that was, okay, remove. It's not even working anymore, man. My screen is frozen. Let me see if I can do that. I'm going to have to get my IT department to come and see this. When I say IT department, it's just me, myself, and I. But you can see it's not coming through. It's just circling on the screen. But again, if I worship the hands of Allah, am I worshiping Allah? Any Muslim, guys, any Muslim that wants to come up and make this make sense. Any Muslim. Salam Masih to those that just walked in. Topic today is, how many gods do Muslims actually have? They go around telling people that they believe in one God. Yet, my question on a Muslim Live earlier today was a simple one. If I worship the shin of Allah, am I worshipping Allah? That was from God Logic to a conversation with Creed. And if I'm worshipping Allah's hand, is his hand the same as his shin? Or are they separate? Are they identical as attributes? Yeah, I know, man. I'm not sure why it's stopping. I'm not sure. I'll try to restart maybe the internet or the Wi-Fi or whatever. I'm not sure what's going on, guys. I apologize. I apologize as well for these lacquer Muslims that don't want to, make it make sense or come up and talk. I mean, we had a guy called yesterday that joined the live. Remember him? He was fun. He became a Muslim at 16. Became a Muslim at 16 and he's 21 now, but still doesn't know anything about Allah or the Quran. Hasn't read the Quran. Take you a weekend to read it. It's a small book. 25% is just, copy and paste. You'll end up skipping pages because there's so much nonsense in it when it starts talking about, unaliving a cow and then taking a piece of the cow and then beating a dead guy to ask him who unalived him. Come on, man. Okay, let me just see if I can do this. Just a second. Let me see if I can do that. Okay, key terms in the Quran. Let me just see. I think that's what he's asking me to read. Oh, hang on a second. I've got to peel another. I told you guys, the Muslims are there. I'm getting attacked for hate speech. So somebody is reporting. These guys are reporting, but they tell you that it doesn't look as if they're there. These guys are crazy, man. But let me read. So it says, God and the angels will come down to the humans waiting judgment in overshadowing clouds. In Surah 89:22, which is on the face of it entails that the deity is capable of spatial displacement. However, much some medieval commentators labor to preclude such an understanding from Ayub 1984. He says the net implication is very much that the Quran considers God to occupy a particular spatial position to the exclusion of others. Even in Quran 2:15 emphasizes that wherever you turn, there's the face of Allah. Now remember, it has to be the literal face of Allah according to this. And then it goes on and says, it emphasizes that wherever you are, you turn into the face of Allah. Thirdly, two early Quranic passages, if understood according to their most straightforward sense, promise that the blessed will see God in paradise. Surah 75:22-33. Appeal not approved. Okay. I'm not using the TikTok studio. Come up, Maverick being frank. Come up, my man. Come on up. And then it goes on and says, thirdly, the two Quranic pages, I just read that, there will be the faces on the day and they are radiant, gazing up on their Lord, and credit to the Quranic messenger with the theophanic experience, 53, 5-18, on which we'll see Bell 1984. And then it goes on. Why can't I see that? It goes on and says, from an inner Quranic perspective, however, it is unwarranted to understand God as immaterial and invisible. At least three considerations may be marshaled in support of this. First, the Quran has no vocabulary to articulate a Platonic bifurcation of reality into two spheres, a material or corporeal, and an immaterial or spiritual one. The contrast between the hidden and the observable, which might be deemed to articulate such a distinction, is squarely epistemological rather than ontological. Secondly, God is said to have established himself on the throne, or literally to have sat down straight upon it. Surah 754:10-3 goes on. And then it says the divine throne is materially real rather than a mere metaphor, is strongly supported by Quran 47 and 69:17, according to which the divine throne is carried by the angels, according to Surah 2:10. So just basically off what we just read there, understanding it, you'll be able to see that even before this conversation, the Muslims were agreeing to the fact that the God of Islam is not a metaphor, he's literal. His hands, feet, eyes are literal. His throne is literal, not a metaphor again. It's actually there. You are told not to say it's a metaphor. So if all of these are real and they exist and they are there, then the question would be, if Allah's shin is in front of me, should I kick it or should I worship it? Should I kick his shin, guys, or should I worship his sin? His shin. So not his sin, his shin. So I'm just asking the questions. Now, Maverick, if you are a Muslim and you want to talk about this topic, you're more than welcome to join up. If you are Muslim, and we can do both, we can see which one makes more sense. If you want to join up and you want to show me that it doesn't make sense, then we can discuss that. But the topic of the day is, how many gods do Muslims have? And if what we've seen is true, that the eyes and all of these things are literal, are each of these Allah? Are these parts of Allah? Come on, guys, where's the Muslims at? Speedy, why don't you join in, brother? Join up, Speedy. Because again, it depends on who you speak to, guys. Remember, I am a Muslim. I am a Muslim, Speedy. I believe in one God, Speedy. You the ones don't believe in the one God. My God never told me to go find a black stone, kiss it, and circle it. Never told me that. Your Muhammad said that that stone was going to talk one day. Come on, Speedy. Well, you can do dawah, brother. You can do dawah. Why don't you come up? I ask you questions. You answer them, and then you do dawah so that the people listening, I've got 66 people on YouTube as well, and we can, your dawah might just help them become Muslim. How are you doing, Speedy?
Just another day in paradise.
72 virgins there as well? Okay, Speedy.
So your question is how many gods do Muslims have? The answer is one.
Okay, so here's the question for you. According to the scholars of Islam, now I've read through the scholars for the last half an hour, all the scholars, the first 3 centuries, the first 3 generations, right, of scholars confirm that the parts of Allah are literal, not metaphorical. Do you believe, for example, that Allah has a shin?
Yes.
Beautiful. Can I worship the shin of Allah?
If you worship the shin, then you're worshipping him, so yes.
Beautiful. Thank you. So Allah is his shin, correct?
Yes.
Is Allah's shin and Allah's hand, are they identical to each other?
It is him.
No. Is Allah's shin and Allah's hand, are they identical to each other?
When you say identical, it means that it's 2 things, but I'm saying it is him.
Again, are his hands his feet and are his feet his hands?
Yes.
So Allah's hands are his feet.
Is Allah's hands his feet?
Are they identical to each other? So if I worship the shin of Allah, then I don't need to worship the hands and the eyes, because the hands and the eyes are not the shin.
That's not true.
So the eyes of Allah are the shin of Allah.
What? No. What?
Okay, what? Listen again. This is where you guys don't listen to what the question is. You answer as a Muslim.
No,
and then you lose
that's
it.
like me saying is your hat your t-shirt?
Is it?
It's not.
Boom shakalaka, checkmate. Beautiful. So the hand of Allah is not the shin of Allah, correct?
The hand is not. Wait 1 second, your mic is. Can you speak? I can't hear you.
Okay, we'll try again.
Okay, no, it works now. I can hear you.
Okay, lovely. We'll try again, right? How many? Allah's got a hand. Let me just find the site. I just found the site. I was going to read it to you, right? According to what we have, we've got Allah has a face, Allah has hands, Allah has fingers, Allah has eyes, Allah has a leg, Allah has a shin, correct?
Shin, hand, leg. Yes.
Yeah, he's got a foot, he's got a shin, he's got fingers, he's got hands, he's got eyes, he's got a face, correct?
face? No.
He does have a face, my man. Surah 55:27.
I need a verse.
Surah 55:27. He says,
27.
yeah, I'll give you 3 verses.
Okay, Ar-Rahman. Only your Lord himself, full of majesty and honor, will remain forever.
It says, there will remain the face of your Lord, that is the majesty of your Lord and honor. Another verse, Surah 92:17-20 says, a person is very pious, will be saved from it, hellfire. He who gives from his money to purify himself, does not on himself favors due to others, only seeks the face of his Lord, the Most High. Then in another, in a hadith, it says, indeed, Allah commands you to pray. When you pray, do not turn away. Indeed, Allah turns his face towards his servant's face during his prayer, unless he turns away. So according to the verse we read now, we agree that Allah has a face as well, correct?
100%. Yes.
Okay, see, so I'm not making things up. I got the verses for you. So, are these different parts of Allah identical to each other?
See, that's where you're losing me when you're saying
Are the hands identical to the feet? Are the feet identical to the face? Is the face identical to the fingers? Is the finger identical to the shin?
It wouldn't be though, wouldn't it? Because a finger has, let's say, 5 fingers. A face doesn't have fingers.
Beautiful. So if we take all of these parts together, all of these things, predicates, we take all of them, these attributes, that are not identical to each other. They're not identical. They're not identical. We agree on that, right?
Yeah.
If we take them all and we put them together, what do we get?
If you take them and put them all together, you would get the description of God.
Beautiful. And if one of them is missing, if any of them is missing, then that's not Allah, correct?
Technically, yes.
Beautiful. So what you just confirmed is that your God is made up of these different parts, and only when these parts are put together do you get Allah. So when I said to you, can I worship Allah's shin? You said to me, yes, that will mean I'm worshiping Allah. But if only his shin is present, not his eyes, not his hand, not his face, not his fingers, yada yada, then I can't be worshiping Allah, because his shin alone is not Allah, correct? Damn, that's right. Welcome home, bro. Welcome home. We're missing you, man. This is what I told you. If you want to get
Hey, what's up, man?
if you want to get what's up, my man? God bless you. Speedy, if you want to get some kind of challenge, bro, don't sit on your panels. Come to me. You know that I give you challenges. Now my question again is no, hang on, no. Don't be jumping to questions. Are we looking for answers, man? Again. Do you now agree that your God is made up of parts, 1, and 2? Do you agree that if each part is individual, not identical to another part, and if each of these are considered to be God? So if you said the shin is God, if you said the eyes are God, if you said the hand is God, if you said the face was God, and all of these are not identical to each other, then each of these are individual and separate gods. Do you agree with that?
Nope. I reject that.
But if you agree that each of them individually, for example, if you said to me, I can worship Allah's shin, then I'm worshiping Allah, but his shin is not his hand, correct?
Correct.
So if I worship Allah's hand without his shin, am I still worshiping Allah?
If you worship the hand, you get the shin.
Prove it. Is the hand identical to the shin?
It's in the same being. So yes,
What being? What is Allah?
he's a being,
What is he?
a deity,
What is he?
light.
So Allah is light.
Yes.
So Allah has literal hands as light.
Nothing like we've ever seen. Yes.
Okay, can you show me where Allah is light?
I got you.
What is light? Is it sunlight? Is it moonlight? Is it candlelight? What light is Allah?
I have no idea, but he is light. I'll give you the rest.
Again, you can say
hands are light though. If you don't know what he is like, see, you guys make this statement. You make this statement. Think about it logically. We don't anything you can ascribe to Allah. He's not that. That's what you say, right? And then you start describing him in specific words for human beings that have specific meanings, right? It's not like, I mean, you choose words that have absolute meanings for a human being. And then you say, no, you human being, don't believe my words that I say. And then you say, whatever I say about Allah, he's not that. So now, how do you see the confusion? It's like, okay, then why
there's no confusion. I'll clean it up. So these are the things that he described in order for his creation to know him. However, we have never seen him, so
so there's a possibility he has so if you go by probability that Allah is articulate and that Allah knows how to express himself when he wants to communicate something, there's a high probability that he really has hands, right? If those two data sets are true.
Yes.
Correct. So now if he has a high probability he actually have hands, then you guys are committing bid'ah by innovating and saying, no, what my articulate God, who can express himself and clearly and tell you what he means, doesn't really mean what he's saying.
No, incorrect.
Well, when you ascribe it not to be what his words are saying, then you're saying he is not an articulate God.
That's not
true.
You
see, when he says hands, it's not really hands. Huh?
No, I did say his hand is his.
Right, but you understand, but when you guys switch, you humans, Muslims, switch his words to not mean what he's saying. On one hand, you say, I'm going to introduce you to a guy who's very clear in his words, he's very articulate, and he can express what he wants to express clearly to you. Then when the guy says, I have an apple on the table, you turn around and say, well, that's not an apple, that is a light. So now, you are now doing bid'ah. After introducing us to this person, right? And saying that he has all these qualities, now you are saying, no, the man doesn't know how to express himself.
No, but that's the thing. So the same example you gave me, if you put an apple on the table, that means that apple is visible. Therefore, it cannot be good.
Bro, you understand in my analogy, you're describing something on the table to people. You're describing it to someone else. You're on a phone call. Hey, you know what? He put an apple on the table. Those people are not there to see it. They're going to believe you when you use the word apple, a picture would come in their head. Trying to understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Either choose an inarticulate God or an articulate God. Because what is he? Can he not, what he says, does he mean it? Can he express himself correctly? If so, then why are you changing a hand to a light? Was the Arabic word for light available to him in the 7th century? The vocabulary, the dictionary. Was he aware of it?
Yes. Because he said it right here.
Why do you think your God, who's an articulate God, suddenly sat down and said, you know what? I'm thinking light, but I'm going to use the word hand.
What verse
he has the
are you
word
on,
light
Speedy?
available to him.
No, but he uses the word light.
Yeah, but Speedy, 1 second. I'm just 1 second. So let's keep this with light. Watch this. I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. So you are saying that Allah is light, correct?
Yes.
And that's all he is.
No, he's more.
Okay, so I'm asking you, what is Allah? If he's more than just light, what is Allah? See, the Christian can say, our God is spirit because the Bible teaches us God is spirit. I'm asking you, what is your God? Because we can see that so far, watch this, Speedy, is a tire a car?
Technically, yeah.
Why isn't it a bike? Why isn't it a bike, man? Come on, man.
No, because without the wheels, you wouldn't have a car.
Exactly. Okay. So now we're getting somewhere. Watch now. So a car is a car if it has a wheels plus other stuff, correct?
Yes.
Beautiful. So when you take all these parts of the car, the engine, the tires, the doors, all this stuff, you put them together, then you get a car, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Beautiful. Is Allah with just his shin and without his hands, his face, his eyes, his leg, his foot? Is he still Allah?
Yes.
Okay. So Allah doesn't need his hands, his feet, his foot, all of that. I can worship the foot of Allah, the shin of Allah, and that to me is now the Islamic God, correct? Don't say it. Please don't say it.
No, I'm trying to comprehend what you're saying.
Okay, I'll say it again. A car is not a car unless all the parts are put together. Then you get a car. According to Islam, you believe in one God, but the one God has shin, eyes, face, leg, foot, fingers, hands, 2 right hands. Each of these, do you consider each of these to be Allah?
But each of these are making the being. So yes.
Okay, so each of these put together will give you Allah, correct?
It will give you an understanding of him, yes.
Not an understanding. Listen again. Each of these put together will tell me who Allah is, correct?
Correct.
Beautiful. If I take away the hands of Allah and the shin of Allah, have I got a complete picture of Allah?
No.
So all these parts put together will give me Allah, just like a car is not a car without the wheels and an engine. That's an incomplete car. To complete the car, I need the wheels and the engine put together. So all these parts put together gives me a car. Do you see what you're doing, Speedy?
Yes.
So can I worship Allah's shin as Allah alone?
No.
So I need the other parts, correct?
You need all of it.
Thank you, man. You don't even know what you did, Speedy.
Explain.
You should just confirm that your God is made of parts, and individually, you have a composite God. Individually, I can't worship just the shin of Allah because that's not who Allah is. I can't worship the eyes of Allah because that's not who Allah is. Only when I take all of these parts, put them together. Now, we haven't stopped there, Speedy. Watch now. You guys believe that Allah has 99 attributes that are eternal, and yet they're not Allah. They're not identical to each other. They're separate from Allah. So you've got 99 eternal attributes of Allah. That's not Allah. And Allah can't be Allah if these attributes aren't there. So Allah is not Allah if his mercy is missing, correct?
You're absolutely right. But I'm gonna show you how what you're explaining to me. It makes sense to me. But that's like me saying to you, if you worship Jesus' hair, are you worshiping God? That's what you're saying to me.
Is Jesus' hair one with Jesus?
It's on his head, so I'd assume yes.
Beautiful. Is Jesus fully or truly man?
Fully, yes.
Okay. As a truly man, that means his entire body is one with him, correct? That's
yes.
It. Now, is Allah truly man?
No.
Is Allah truly God?
Yes.
Is Allah God with his parts put together?
Yes.
So your God is partial. You have a God that's made up of different parts, and that is a composite God, meaning he's like a jigsaw puzzle or even like a Lego set that you need to put these parts together. And this is not an insult or an attack, Speedy. This is you giving me these answers. So you can't say to me that if I worship the shin of Allah, that I'm worshiping Allah, because the shin is not the hand. It's identical. It's not identical to the hand. It's different from the hand. These are not identical to each other. They're separate from each other. Just like the 99 attributes of Allah, they are not Allah by themselves. You have to put them all together to get Allah. For example, Allah's mercy is not Allah. I can't worship the mercy of Allah, can I?
You technically can, yes.
So the mercy of Allah is actually Allah.
The mercy of Allah is Allah, yes.
But is the mercy the complete Allah?
No, because you'll be neglecting other things then.
That's right. So the only way for you to have one true God in Islam is to take not just the 99 attributes of Allah, but also to take all of his parts, his hands, his feet, and all of these, put them together as well. So individually, if each of these are Allah, then you've got 99 plus all the parts of Allah put together. So you've got more than 110 gods. So you can't say to me, I have one God, Tawheed. What is the meaning of Tawheed again? It means to unify. It means to unify, right? To unify. If you take all these parts, you unify all these parts, you get one. Ahad, one of. So his shin is one of the other attributes. His mercy is one of his other attributes. So Allah is one of his many attributes. Individually, these attributes are not Allah, but collectively they are Allah. Do you see that, my man?
I see exactly what you're saying. However, I can answer this by using Surah 112, verse 4. It says there is none comparable to him. So everything that we just described, can you compare that to anything else?
So you went back to the comment I was having with you. I mean, so now you're stuck between this. Now you're trying to say your Allah is inarticulate.
I'm saying he articulated himself in a way we understand.
What is the verse? Sorry,
But you just said anything
what is the verse?
Says,
what is the verse?
112, verse 4.
Oh,
right. So that verse, I know what you're talking about. But then that verse gets you into trouble. That's what I started off with. I said, then you're saying anything he says articulates about himself. You guys are saying, no, but he's not that. That verse is telling you that. Don't believe anything he says, because whatever he describes himself, he's not like that.
No, but that's the comparison.
Read the verse.
The comparison.
Read the verse again.
Because
okay? Allah just described himself with hands and feet. Read the verse again.
And there is none comparable to him.
So can I just jump in there? I just want to watch again now. Watch again, Speedy. From verse 1, it says, say he is God, he is one. One what?
One being.
What being is he?
A being of God.
A human being. Is a dog? Is a rock a being?
Is a rock a being?
Google that and tell me. Let me put you on the big screen.
It's not a living being, I'll say.
Well, let's see what it says.
I got you. It's a non-living being.
But it is a being, correct?
A being is anything that exists.
It says
a metaphysical being. Metaphysical being.
Are not alive.
But it's not alive, but is it a being? I'm not asking if it's alive. I'm asking you, is it a being? And you wrote, are rocks living beings? Don't write living beings. Are rocks beings?
Metaphysical being. Don't put just being in there, because we're talking about
metaphysical. That's right.
Right. That is the important distinction that we're talking about. We're talking about God. And so a being is anything that exists. Or if you want, put the definition of a being, which is better, and then you'll understand. It'll give you a metaphysical definition too.
What is the definition of being? Let's see.
Exist. A natural or essence of a being.
There you go. So a rock exists, right? It has existence, right?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. So then it's a being.
So then, now let's get back to the verse. So when I said to you, it says, say he is God, he is one. You said he's a being. Now, the question again will fall under, well, if he's a being, what is he? What being? What is he?
A light being.
A light being.
Yes.
Make that make sense.
So he's a being made of light, or I can say he's an immortal being.
As opposed to a heavy being.
Yeah, and then wait.
I'm gonna get coffee, guys. One second. I'm gonna come back in like 5 minutes.
Speedy, he's a light being that has a veil that is another light being that covers his light being, or it has the power to sit down and stop his light being from destroying the world. What are we doing with God, dude? What are we describing here as, dude? You know the veil is said to be a light, right? So he's a light being who puts a light being in front of him, which is more powerful than his being, because that light can stop his light.
No.
And when he wants to describe all of this stuff, he wants to use words like hands and feet and shin.
I'm gonna answer you. When he says hands and feet and chin, it doesn't have to be the same way like a human being.
Hold on. So it's a different kind of a hand.
Okay, so I ask you an example. Does a chair have a leg?
We've been through this.
Is his legs like a chair?
Does chair have a leg? I'm giving you an example.
Yes, absolutely. And a clock has a hand. So is his hand like a clock, or is his hand like a leg?
Well, guys, one at a time. Let's go slowly.
94.
Sado, brother, Sado, dude, relax. You came in guns blazing. Brother, please, brother, do me a favor. What is wrong with this dude? Hey, shut your mouth. I'm asking you to please just hold on a second. One at a time, please. One at a time. Sado, relax, bro. Relax, Sado. Stop panicking. Relax. One at a time.
I'm making you guys panic.
No, you're not making anyone panic. The only one panicking over here is Allah's shin.
Can you answer my question then?
Okay, hold on. Let's stick with the chair having legs. When you say a chair has a leg,
oh my gosh,
do you know what that leg looks like? Does everybody understand what the leg looks like?
Is that the same as human legs?
No, listen to me. When you say that this chair has a leg, is that a physical leg we can see, and we all of us can get can imagine what a chair legs looks like. There are different kinds of legs, but we know what it looks like. But you're telling us that we can't even imagine what Allah's hands are, because it's not like normal hands. So then we ask you, what does it look like? So your description, like a clock has a hand. Everybody in the world will understand what a clock's hand looks like. They get an immediate picture in their head.
Just a second there, Jay.
No, his hands, we cannot get a picture now.
Jay, before you continue. Listen, you Jahil Sado. I dropped you because you don't know how to be quiet long enough to let someone else finish the sentence. He's explaining to you about the hands and the leg, but you jumping. Stop jumping, listen, and I said to you from the start, one at a time, I was actually going to let you start, but because you're showing me that you have zero self-control, you're reminding me about lowering your gaze and how Muhammad had no self-control. So do me a favor, slow down, and Jay, I want him to explain himself first, and then he will shut his gob and let you speak afterwards. This is not the masjid, my man. Know your place.
You're not gonna talk about Prophet Muhammad like that.
Ummak Jayef. Gum Masilana.
You want me to play the Zut song for you, my man? You want me to play Saido? You want me to play the Zut song for you, my man? Don't make it disrespectful, bro. Don't make it disrespectful. Go read about the Zut. Come back when you're ready.
All right. Anyway, so that was the point. These are silly examples you give us. You tell us, does a chair have a leg? The clock has a hand. Absolutely. But we know what it looks like. We know it means something to humans. When you tell a human being a clock has a hand, immediately they have a picture in their head. But you keep on insisting when Allah says it's hands and shin and everything else, that no, it's nothing like that. So what are we supposed to imagine?
Okay, let's get back to Ibrahim. Ibrahim, are you a Muslim, sir?
I am a Muslim.
Okay, please keep it respectful. There's no need for anyone to jump up and down and, create nonsense over here. We're asking a simple question. Now, unfortunately, Sado was manifesting and he made Speedy drop because he couldn't handle the heat. My question is, I just read all about the first 3 centuries, the first 3 generations of the Sahaba, where all of them confirm that Allah has literal, not metaphorical. He has literal hands, literal feet, literal face, literal fingers, literal shin. My question is, if I worship the shin of Allah, am I worshipping Allah?
No.
No. If I worship the face of Allah, am I worshipping Allah?
No.
Okay. If I focus on all of these attributes, the hands, the feet, the face, and all of that, if I put them all together, and I get Allah, can I worship that Allah?
The way Allah is shaped, that doesn't matter because we don't know.
No, I didn't ask you that. I said to you,
worshipping the divine power, Allah Himself, yes.
Okay, so do you agree that Allah?
We don't care how He looked like. He didn't tell us how He looked like. He has a
He
hand.
does. He does tell. He does tell you what he
We're
looks
not
like.
denying that.
My brother, he
He
does.
has sight and he can hear. Yeah, we're not denying that. He said in the Quran that there is nothing like Him, and He hears and He sees everything.
Okay. So let's start again.
But there is nothing like Him.
Do we agree? That's fine. I'll take that. I'm allowing that. That's fine. My question is, do you agree that Allah says He has a foot?
Allah did not say He has a foot.
Okay, let's go to the Quran, to Sahih Bukhari. And Sahih Bukhari 48.
Show me in the Quran Allah has a foot.
Okay, sure. In the Quran?
Yes.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll give you right from this. I'll go through all of it, right? His hands, his face, and everything, and I'll show it to you. And I want you to tell me if this is a true statement or an untrue statement. Allah has a face. Do you agree with that or disagree with that?
Sure, He has something face. We look at it, but here you have to understand in Arabic language, face means a whole. So if He says
a hole.
nothing will stay except His face at the end of time, that means a whole, His whole, not just the face. That's in Arabic. That's Arabic language.
Okay,
you
so
don't understand it in English because it's not appropriate in English. It does not mean the same thing.
Please let me understand this. So Allah doesn't have a face.
Yeah, so in Arabic,
brother Ibrahim, both of us.
My face.
Ibrahim, my man. Please, I would like to also speak. So now we understand that when Allah says He has a face, He just says He has a hole. Beautiful.
No, that's not what I said.
You said He has a hole.
Yes, He has a face, but we don't know how that face look. However, what I'm saying is in the Quran mentions a face for Allah that is at the judgment day or at the end of time, nothing will be there except His face. Now, the face here does not mean what the face you understand. It means God, only God. He's talking about the whole thing, not just the face.
Okay, so the whole thing, what's the whole thing?
The whole thing is Allah. Whatever He is, that's the whole thing.
Okay, so when
so it's
Allah
not
says,
just the face, it's not just the hand, it's not just this and that.
Beautiful. So Allah has a hand, a face, fingers, and all of these, and at the end of time, you will see all of these together, and that will be Allah.
We don't know, as my brothers explained to you. The terminology is the same. You can say hand, face, leg.
Okay,
but the meaning of it, though, the looks of it is not the same.
So let me ask you.
He explained. He said nothing like Him is stated in the Quran.
Let's try again, Ibrahim.
Wait a second.
Let's try again.
Let me finish.
You loud and
nothing like Him. Listen. Let me finish this one. Nothing like Him. He stated in the Quran. There is nothing like Him. But He also sees and hears everything.
Okay,
just like you hear and see as a human being, but still.
Okay, Ibrahim, stop now. Stop. You are saying that they are identical to each other. Are you saying that Allah's shin is identical to His face?
Show me where is His chin. Where did you see that?
Not chin, but shin on the leg.
Yeah. Show me the text.
Okay, when it says that you recognize Allah's shin, Allah's leg, Don't understand
Where is that in our
Sahih,
books?
Sahih Bukhari. In Sahih Bukhari.
Show me.
4919.
I have Sahih Bukhari. Hold on.
Yeah, go to Sahih Bukhari 4919.
4919.
Yeah.
One moment. Come on. Of course, now it's not going to work.
Let me see if I can put it on the screen for you. 1 second.
Okay, I'm ready for you.
Just getting it, my man. I've pressed the wrong number.
Okay, no problem. Take your time.
Why isn't it coming up?
Hold on, I can get it for you. Let me put this here. Ibrahim, are you Ashari or Asari? Oh, yeah, Christian Sunni. Christian, or? He's Ashari. Okay.
Alrighty, you ready there, my man? Can you see the screen?
I see the screen.
Okay, so it says, I heard the Prophet saying, our Lord will lay bare his shin. You see that? And then all believers, men and women, will prostrate themselves before him. So the shin of Allah in Sahih Bukhari 4919 says that Allah has a shin, correct?
Well, in English, they explained it word by word, but that's not what it means.
So tell me in Arabic, what does it say?
This means that Allah will show His anger at that time.
So Allah's shin is His anger?
But this is the problem that you guys have. You're trying to explain this in English, but in Arabic we have a different language where sometimes
my brother,
you say something
Ibrahim,
but it means something else.
In the
Like when he said
what is wrong with this guy, man? In the Arabic, does it say shin in the Arabic?
I'm trying to explain.
Yeah, no, my man, you're not talking. You're trying to dictate, and you're not having conversation. I'm asking you a specific question. In the Arabic, does the word say in the Arabic? In the Arabic, does it say shin? I can hear you, and I'm trying not to hear you. That's why I'm muting you. I'm asking you. In the Arabic, does it say shin or does it say anger? And can you show me anywhere in Islam where every time Allah uses the word anger, I can put the word shin in there? Can you tell me that?
Well, the hadith says they will prostrate.
The wording, when it comes together, okay, if you take one word by itself, the shin, yeah, it means the shin. But if you put it in a sentence where it comes like this, then Allah will show His shin, that He will show His anger at that time, where people start prostrating to Him.
Let's see if it's true. Ibrahim, let's see. According to the hadith, what is wrong with this dude? Dude, full Muslim, listen up, man. If we read the hadith, are you saying that Allah wants us to prostrate to His anger? Do you see what the verse is actually saying? Am I going to worship? Am I prostrating to the shin of Allah? And the shin of Allah is Allah's anger, not Allah Himself? Let me read what it says. It says, our Lord will lay down His bare shin. Will bear His shin, and then all the believers, men and women, will prostrate themselves before Him. but there will remain those who used to prostrate in the world, showing off and for gaining good reputation. Such people will try to prostrate on the day of judgment, but their backs will be as stiff as it was one bone, a single vertebra. That's what the verse actually says. So I'm asking you, is the shin of Allah always been the anger of Allah? So every time I see the word anger, I can just put the word shin in there?
No, that's not what it means. In the Arabic language, that the Quran was revealed to the people that understand this language. Wait a second. Let me finish. So you understand the point. Now, when they at that time, when they say yakshifu an saq, if somebody said rah akshif an saq, that I'm gonna show my shin, that means he's being serious now. He's being serious and he's being blunt. Show us in the 7th century that idiom exists. Show us, I'll show you. This is what they used to say. This is kind of Arabic.
Can you show it to us, please? Give us evidence. Ibrahim, please show it to us. Show Ibrahim.
To those people, he speak in their language.
My gosh, these guys are thick. Ibrahim, can you give us an example from anywhere? Show me someone that says this. Give me evidence of what you are saying, please. Stop just talking, my word.
Of course. Go ahead and look it up and you will see what the scholars
So I must look it up. I just read what the scholars said. Let me read. Oh my God. Let me read what the scholars said. Let me read what the scholars said. I have it in front of me. Let me tell you what the scholars have been saying, right? According to what we just said. We're going to go to a site called Islam Q&A. Do you know the site? Do you know Islam Q&A?
No, go get it.
Do you know the site called Islam Q&A?
I just told you the answer. Islam Q&A. Go ahead. Yeah, show me.
Okay,
show
beautiful.
Me the site.
So
Q&A.
Islam Q&A says that. Now I'm going to read from you, for example, from Tabari.
Read.
Do you know who Tabari is?
Yes, I know what
Okay.
Tabari is.
He says, if someone were to say, what is the proper approach with regards to the meaning of these attributes that you have mentioned, some of which are mentioned in the book and revelation of Allah, may he be glorified, and some were mentioned or by the Prophet. Let me just see where it goes. Our response is the correct view, the correct approach is our view is to affirm the meaning in a real sense, meaning the shin is real, not a metaphor. It continues, without likening him to his creation, as Allah himself said, there's nothing unto me, whatever. So then it says, so we affirm all the meanings that we said are mentioned in the reports and the Quran and the revelation according to their apparent meanings. And we reject the likening of to his creation. Hence we say, may he be glorified. So what he's saying is that it's not a metaphor, it is literal. So if he says he has a shin, he has a literal shin. Now you've got another guy called, let me just see, there's more. You've got Imam Ahmed Muhammad ibn Abi ibn Muhammad al-Qudri. You know who he is? Who is known as Al-Kasab. And he said concerning the Qadradi belief in a letter that was written, blah, 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 it says that this is a literal. It says Allah is not to be described except as he has described himself or his prophet has described him. Any attribute that he has ascribed to himself or his prophet has ascribed to him is a real,
he's quoting Ibn Abbas and other people,
is a real sense. You're not listening.
It was,
oh my gosh,
he showed his toughness at that day and everybody crossed.
Well, see, this is where you're messing up.
Here, I got it in front of me.
Ibrahim, one sec.
But if there are some other people described it as a real
Ibrahim, you're messing up.
We're not going to come against those people because they said we don't describe it as a real human shin or anything else.
Ibrahim,
we describe it, he have a shin. Okay,
Ibrahim,
but it belongs to him.
Ibrahim,
and glorified to him.
Ibrahim.
So
Ibrahim,
so they're different.
Shut up.
So can I tell him one thing real quick?
Sure, brother.
So Ibrahim, you appeal to the Arabic language. Would you say that the Salafis and the Atharis know the Arabic language? Or do they not know how to read Arabic and speak Arabic now?
Without any titles or names, we're Muslims and
Habibi, I ask you a very simple question.
Any titles and names, you go ask
and the
them. Do not ask
Atharis
me.
know how to speak Arabic? لغة عربية. Yes or no, man? It's such a simple question. Stop
إذا أنت
waffling.
عندك لغة عربية خلينا نفتح لك
أنا
كلمة.
لو
استنى
اللغة
عشان
مالتي
نقرأ.
مكسر. يلا احكي لي. Do the Salafis and the Atharis speak and read the Arabic language?
خلينا أنا show you.
Can you speak English? The whole panel's English. I'm asking you a question. Stop trying
I know, but you speak Arabic. Let's read.
No,
Me
I
and you.
don't. No, I don't.
Okay,
The
this is
Salafis and the
يكشف عن
Atharis,
ساق.
keep it in English. حبيبي اسمع.
It's in English too. It's in English too.
اسمع. Listen to what I'm
Okay.
asking you. It's such a simple question. Do the Salafis and the Atharis, do they know how to read and speak Arabic?
Hey, what does it say here?
Yes or no, man?
Okay, but first,
I just told you I don't read or speak Arabic. It's a yes or no. Such a simple question.
Are you sure? Let me read it in Arabic. You understand Arabic, right?
No, I don't. Read it for me. Let me see if I understand.
Okay, عن ابن عباس يوم يكشف عن ساق, he says هو يوم الحرب والشدة.
Okay. So again,
anger,
who is this
شدة.
Ibn Kathir?
That's تفسير الطبري. اللي هو جابه.
Again, that doesn't answer my question. My question
It
is,
does, but اختلف العملاء. So the scholars divided between two. One says.
Okay, so hang on. So the scholars are divided. Beautiful. So they're saying something that you are saying. Can you please, my brother, please, you must be able to have a conversation. You're not that thick.
But I want to tell you what
You've just spoken. Let somebody else speak, please. Please listen again. Let somebody else speak, because again, I am also showing you. I'm also showing you. Now listen carefully to what I'm giving you. It says over here that when it comes to a guy called Uthman ibn Sayyid al-Darimi, he said, "We know about the concept of metaphors from the language of the Arabs, which you have taken to use to confuse and mislead the ignorant. By means of this concept, you deny the reality of the divine attributes based on the metaphor argument." He says, "But we say it is wrong to judge the most common style in Arabic language on the basis of its rarest style. Rather, we should understand the statements of the Arabs on the basis of the most common style, unless you can produce proof that it was meant to be here in the rarest style," meaning a metaphor. He says, "This approach that is most fair and is most right approach to the divine attributes that are well known and understood as they appear to be by people of common sense, and the twisting the meaning on the grounds of these metaphors." Now again, Al-Tabari is confirming what I just said, right? He's confirming it, letting us know that these are not metaphors. These are based on literal explanations. So it's not causing confusion. It's being literal. It goes on and talks about in other people speaking, even Jawzi, he said, "Allah is not to be described except as he described himself or his prophet has described him." He said, his prophet ascribed to him certain attributes in the real sense, not a metaphor, not metaphorical. If it was a metaphorical, then it would have been necessary to explain it in the matter different from the apparent meanings. Now, again, all I'm doing is reading you from Iran Q&A, Islam Q&A, telling us clearly that it is never. What's wrong with you, man? Get down, you pig.
He's a Bedouin, dude. He showed us.
Pig.
So, if I can get a big screen in here, what he's doing is he's doing on the Quran and tafsir. So, there's a lot of them, as you read, don't agree that it is a metaphor. But here in the hadith, he has a problem on this, because this is another one, this Bukhari hadith. It's a super long one. Okay. It says, "Do you know any sign by which you can recognize him?" So it's asking humans, would you know to recognize Allah? They will say the shin. So the humans already understand that it is an actual shin that they can recognize. So they have a picture of the shin. They know what it looks like, because they're saying they will say the shin. That's the problem. And so Allah will then uncover a shin, whereupon every believer will prostrate before him. So the big problem here is for Muslims is they will say the shin. That tells you that they know what it looks like. They know it's a shin because the word shin only means shin to them, and then they're going to prostrate to that shin.
And that's
You can't,
yeah, that's exactly. So again, the shin has to be a literal shin.
Right, exactly. Yeah, because they're doing it to an object. They're prostrating to the object. Yeah. And they're using words like the shin, so they definitely understand what it looks like.
And I want to read one more. I want to read, this is again from Islam Q&A. Watch this. It's adding to what you just said. It says, and this again is it says Imam Hafiz al-Makhrib, Abu Yusuf, blah, 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 with all these names. Maliki said, that he quoted Al-Qurtubi al-Maliki. He said, in principle, words are to be understood in the real sense unless the Ummah is unanimously agreed that something is not to be understood in the real sense and is rather a metaphor, because there's no way to follow what has been revealed to us from our Lord except on those bases. Then it goes on and says, if it was justifiable for anyone to claim that something is a metaphor, then no statement would mean anything. That's a boom shakalaka right there. It goes on and says, he said, narrating that these was consensus among the Asuma, the Sunnah, al-Sunnah, concerning this matter, the al-Sunnah were unanimously agreed that all the divine attributes mentioned in the Quran and Sunnah are to be affirmed, and we are to believe in them and understand them in a real sense, not metaphorical. Again, this is from Islam Q&A 151794. 151794, and it goes on with all these scholars. It even talks about the Imam al-Hafiz, and he says as well, Allah exists in a real sense, not metaphorical. His attributes cannot be taken metaphorical, because in that case they would not be divine attributes, because the attributes are connected to the one who possesses those attributes, and he exists in a real sense, not in a metaphorical sense. His attributes cannot be metaphorical. So again, how many other scholars do I need to go through for you Muslims to understand that I'm just reading? All we do is read. I'm reading what your scholars have given us. Then we go back to the original question. If I worship the shin of Allah, am I worshiping Allah? That's the question now. That's the question on the table right now. If I worship the shin of Allah, am I worshiping Allah? Rabbi Isra, how are you, sir?
I'm good. How you doing today, brother?
I'm very well, thank you. But you're not a Muslim, right?
You say I'm not a Muslim?
Are you a Muslim?
Yes, I'm Muslim.
Oh, okay, my mistake.
Aren't you Muslim? Are you Muslim?
On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday.
You Muslim on Mondays? You Muslim only on certain days?
That's right.
Wow, that's strange. I thought a Muslim was one who submits to the will of Allah, God, and everything in the universe.
On Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I submit to his shin.
Everything in the universe
I submit to his hands, and on Sunday, I just go to church.
Yeah, everything in the universe submits to the will of Allah, God, willingly or unwillingly. So
okay,
you're a Muslim. You might not be a believer, but you're definitely a Muslim.
Okay, so I'm definitely a Muslim. Let's see. Do you believe that Allah is one God?
I don't believe Allah is three gods. It says, for he is Allah, the one Allah, the eternally besought by all. Allah begets not, nor is Allah begotten. There is nothing comparable unto Allah. So yes, he's one God.
Beautiful. Can you
one
tell me?
creator, one God, has no partners,
it's okay.
no sons,
I
no
got you now.
daughters.
It's okay. It's okay. You don't need to go on. The record doesn't need to be, stuck. So the question is, do you believe? I've just read through the first Sahaba that were confirming that Allah has hands, eyes, shin, face, and fingers and stuff. Do you agree with that?
I've never seen God, so I mean, I would think it states in the Bible, and I think it states in the Quran that God kind of like breathed his creative spirit into man. So we have the ability with our hands and our eyes and our brain and our mind to think. So I think we're somewhat in the same like in the in the image of God, and so I don't know, brother. I don't know.
I'm gonna try again. So you should have just said I don't know instead of all of that waste
Yeah,
of
I
time.
don't know. I mean,
I'm gonna ask
you
you
can,
again.
you
I'm
have
gonna
your
ask
own
you again.
interpretation.
Please pay attention, Isra. Please pay attention. My question is this: according to the Quran, does Allah quote in the Quran that He has legs, eyes, hands, face, fingers? Does He say these words in the Quran?
Do you want God? Do you want God to have all those things you just mentioned?
Amen. I'm asking you a question. In the Quran, does Allah specifically say that He has those things?
Like that in the Quran, so you would have to, refresh my memory.
Beautiful. So thank you for coming. We teach Muslims in the Quran, Surah 55,
Teach Muslims.
27.
Wow.
It says Allah has a face. In Surah 55, 27, He has a face. In Surah 92, 17 to 20, Allah has a face.
Where
In
does
Jami
it
Tirmidhi,
say that at? Can you read that? Can you read that in context, or you just going off of? I'm just trying to
I'm
figure
giving
out
you the
where
verses, my man. I'm just giving you the verses. I'm not going to be able to spoon feed you as well.
you're not gonna be able to read the
I can
verses, so
take
we
you to
can.
the water, but I can't drink it for you.
I
Get me?
thought you might have been like another brother that folks just say we just read. So I mean, usually when you quote a verse,
Did I just read for you?
you just made a statement. I don't think you read the
I just
verse.
read to you in Surah 55, 27. It says, "There will remain the face of your Lord that is of majesty and honor."
Okay,
That's Surah
so I
25,
think.
55.
So what do you think that means to you?
Don't worry about me. I'm asking you. Do you
What
agree?
does that mean to
Again,
me?
you're not paying attention, Israel. Listen again. Do you agree that Allah says Himself that He has a face? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I believe that the face of God is creation, and that when you're looking at creation, when you're looking out to the sky, the moon, the stars, and everything that God has put there in view for you to see of His creation, that is the face of God that you're
So when I go
witnessing.
to the toilet and I look
So
down in
that's
the toilet,
always
when I'm done in the toilet and I look down, what am I looking at?
you looking at your shit. That's what you're
And
looking
isn't
at.
that
Your
part of
shit.
Allah's creation?
That's not a law. That's your shit.
But who's the one that gave it to me?
When you answer with just abstract rubbish,
That's what you should be thankful for. That
Okay,
you
but
choose
anyway,
to be
so let's
ungrateful
look at
for.
this,
You
Allah. So if
choose to
I
be
look at the
ungrateful
tree,
for the
again,
shit that
you're not
Allah
listening,
gave you.
Israel.
That's your
Israel,
problem,
if I
bro.
look at a tree now, am I seeing Allah?
When you look at a tree, you're seeing the creation of Allah.
Okay, so I'm asking you. You said that when I look at creation, I see Allah, correct? You see, this is what happens when you try to be smart.
You're
And you're not.
seeing the signs that God exists. You know what I'm
Okay, so
saying?
according to the
That
Quran,
lets you know that there is a God.
so according
Because
to
you
the
might be an
Quran,
atheist, you might not even believe in God. Do you believe in God?
100%. I believe in the
Oh,
true
okay,
God.
that's good
Now
to know.
again, so now we know that
You
Allah
don't have
has
to
a
cover
face.
yourself, brother, if you
According to the
believe in
Quran,
God, brother.
according to the Quran, it says in Surah 54:14, it says, "When Noah sailed under the watch of our eyes." Now, I just read the Sahaba said that every time
Mm-hmm.
Allah mentions His body parts, these are literal, not metaphorical. I actually went through, I don't know how many different people. I even went to Bukhari. I went through a whole lot that says these are literal, not metaphorical. I'm asking
Hold on.
you again, according to this
You
verse,
do know that cats and dogs see in black and white, right?
what does that have to do with the price of eggs at the market?
I'm just saying, brother. You just mentioned that that Noah in his journey that there was a watchful eye over Noah, and
Okay, so again, I just want to know:
that
does
just
Allah
lets you
say,
know there's an
according to
angel.
the
There's
Quran,
also
according to the Quran, does Allah say He has a face and an eye so far?
do you have a face and eyes, brother? Are
Are
you
you
in the image
comparing
of
me to your
God?
God? Are you comparing me to
No,
your
I'm
God?
not comparing you to God. I'm comparing you to, you have signs and images that you
Dude, what
are
is
from
wrong with
God.
you? Can you try to focus? This is what happens when you become a Muslim at the barber shop. Listen again. I'm asking you simply from the Quran. Do you agree that the Quran itself is confirming that Allah has eyes, Allah has a face, Allah has hands in Surah 38:75? That's what He used when He created Adam. Answer this. When Adam was created and Allah said that He used His hands, He created him using
Yeah,
His hands. What did Allah use?
right. Yeah, all of that, brother. You're right. So
Did
God has all those things. He can see everything you do, brother. He hears and sees all you do, brother. There's an
Okay,
angel
so
on your left, there's an angel on your right, and it's recording everything. It's watching you, brother.
is it Satan in my nose?
It's writing down your disbelief right now, brother.
Is Satan living in my nose and peeing in my ear?
Is Satan living in your nose? No, Satan is in your ear, brother. That's why you're a disbeliever.
In my hair? I'm
Because
bald.
you have listened to the whispers of Satan.
I have
You
no
know what I'm
hair.
saying?
I
So
shave my
you
head.
believe that Jesus is God, right?
I shave my head.
Did
Again,
did Satan take Jesus up
again.
to a high
Pay,
mountain
pay
and offer
attention.
Jesus to be the
Pay
king of the land?
attention. Pay attention. If
I just
Allah's
want to ask one
shin,
question,
if
brother. I just
Allah's
want to know if
shin,
this is true.
if Allah's shin was in front of me, can I worship Allah's shin?
If Allah's shin was in front of you, can you worship Allah's shin? If Jesus was in front of you, can you worship Jesus?
Of course, I would worship him. He's God. That's not the
If he's in
question.
front of you, you will worship him?
Stop what aboutism and try to pay attention. I know it's
Okay.
difficult. Pretend
No,
this is a
I
one
worship
sale.
Allah unseen,
Focus
brother. I don't
again.
worship the shin of Allah.
Focus
I worship
again.
Allah unseen.
So you don't believe that Allah has a shin?
I believe in the unseen God. I believe in the unseen God, Allah.
Okay,
Yes.
so what is okay? Let's start again. What is Allah?
Allah is the creator of the heavens and the
No.
earth.
What is
He is the creator of existence. He is the
Is Allah
reason
a
why
being?
you exist, brother.
Is Allah a being?
Excuse me?
Is Allah a being?
Allah is the creator of the heavens and the earth. You
What
can't even
is
imagine.
he?
Your little mind
What
can't
is he?
imagine
Is Allah a
God, brother.
tree? Is Allah a tree?
Is
Is Allah
Jesus
a
a tree?
stone?
Is Jesus a stone?
Rabbi Isra, try to pretend that you're smart. Take your Muslim
Come on,
cap
bro.
off.
You asking dumb questions, bro. Come
I'm
on,
talking
don't
to a
ask dumb
Muslim. I'm
questions.
talking to a Muslim, so I have to ask these questions.
Don't
Listen
try to
again.
ask belittling questions, brother. Come on now.
Take your Muslim cap, put it aside, and let's
Be a
think like
bigger person, brother.
let's
Be
think
a
like
bigger
a human.
person.
Let's think like a human. Listen again. My question is simple. Is Allah a spirit?
First you asked, was Allah a tree?
Is
Now
Allah
it's
a tree? Is he a spirit? Is he a stone? Is he human? Is he a dog? What is Allah? Can you answer that question?
He is Allah, the one Allah, the
What is
eternally
he?
besought by all.
Yeah, what is he?
Allah is a force. He is what he is. He is. I mean, you know, Allah has 99 of the most beautiful attributes. Which one do you want? Which one do you want, brother?
Hang on.
You can look them up, brother. You can read and look them up. Read the Quran and you will learn, brother. You know who God is.
My word, dude. Nowhere in the Quran does it tell me who or
You don't
what
learn by
Allah is.
by you reading the Quran, you didn't learn who God is.
Can you listen again?
Did you learn who God is by reading the Bible? You know who God is by reading the Bible.
Shut up. I'll try again. In the Bible, we know that God is spirit. I'm asking you, sir, is your God spirit? Don't tell me he's a force. Tell me what he is,
brother,
not what he's
I
not.
don't know. All I know is that Allah is the creator of the heavens and the earth.
Beautiful.
How he
Lovely.
created
So you
it,
don't know who he is.
only Allah knows.
When Allah said that he created Adam using his hands, did he use his hand? The verse in Surah 39:67 says, he said,
What does the Quran say, bro?
In Surah 38:75, he said, O Iblis, what prevented you from making sujood to that which I created with my two hands?
Right.
Did Allah mean what he said?
If that's what Allah said, that's what Allah means, brother.
Then Allah has hands, correct?
What does the Quran say? God has hands. You don't want God to have hands? Does Jesus have hands?
Okay,
I mean, what's your point, brother? What you try to get to? Let's just get to the crust of your.
I'm trying
argument.
to, but you're not smart enough, bro. I don't know how else to dumb myself down. I'll try again. Listen again. I'm going to try again. I'm going to try again. According to the verse, Allah says, according to the verse, he created Adam with his two hands.
Okay.
Right? His two hands. So Allah has hands, correct?
That's what the verse says. You want Allah to have hands? Yeah, Allah has hands. Okay, what's your point?
Thanks for coming, man.
You know, guys, the number one recruitment place for getting new Muslims is correctional facilities. They have astrophysicists and engineers over there, dude. You just heard an astrophysicist right now. Hey, bro, this guy violated Tawheed like 7 times. This guy's a kafir.
It's and
He said the moon is the face of Allah. MashaAllah. What kind of kufr is this? That's new for me. Wait. And then they say there's a crack in the moon. So what do you think they're talking about? MashaAllah. Wow, bro.
Okay, guys. I think I'm gonna run the same topic tomorrow, but I need to go, unfortunately, guys, because I'm actually half an hour overtime. But again, this is an interesting topic. Notice how the Muslims themselves are struggling to show us the Tawheed of Islam. Notice how now they can't answer you about the hands, the feet, and stuff. Because remember, all we did was show you that the originals, the real YGs, the OGs, the old goats, the old guys, these guys are confirming that this is not a metaphor. This is literal. This is what the old dudes are saying. These new day, modern day 2026 guys, these are guys going, oh, hang on a second. This is a metaphor. No, it's not, bro. You just shot yourself in the foot. This is not a metaphor. You said, oh, Allah is the light and He's the sun. Well, come on, man. At night, where's Allah? And as Jay just said, if there's a crack in the moon and Muhammad split the moon, He split the face of Allah? Come on, man. What, is that why Allah got this? Maybe we should call him Scarface. Can't make this up. Can't make this up, people. This is the craziness of following a religion that has no answers. Remember, the only thing Muslims lead with, the things that they're so proud of, is Allah is one. So, my question is, if I worship Allah's shin, am I worshipping Allah? If I worship Allah's shin, am I worshipping Allah Himself? Chris, can you send me the Psalm for the day? I think it's 143, please. Psalm 143 today. Or is it 144? So again, I was just playing with this morning. Let me tell you guys this. I'm not even joking. This morning, I actually went to a live stream. A guy called Rashid. And I spoke to Rashid, and he was mocking up, as usual, Jesus, and talking about him going to the toilet, yada, yada, yada. And he said, I can say truly that our Allah is 100% God. 100% God. So my question to him was, can I worship the shin of Allah? Is Allah's shin 100% God too? And that's how he dropped me. He dropped me because he couldn't answer the question, but he's quick to drop people that are knowledgeable. When he gets cooked, he drops them and he tries to make it make sense. But, and I apologize again, guys, but unfortunately, let me see if Chris sent it to me. And I apologize again for the my interweb is not working. My Wi-Fi, I don't know why it's being silly with me. Okay, Chris sent it there. So tomorrow, guys, we'll go through this again. It looks as if I may be traveling again this weekend or Friday, Saturday, but I'll let you guys know. It hasn't been decided yet. The 007 business is up and running, so I may be away, but let's just listen to this Psalm 143. Can I worship the shin of Allah? You can't make this up.
Hear my prayer, O Lord. Give ear to my supplication. Answer me in your faithfulness, in your righteousness, and do not enter into judgment with your servant. For in your sight, no man living is righteous. For the enemy has persecuted my soul. He has crushed my life to the ground. He has made me dwell in dark places like those who have long been dead. Therefore my spirit is overwhelmed within me. My heart is appalled within me. I remember the days of old. I meditate on all your doings. I muse on the work of your hands. I stretch out my hands to you. My soul longs for you as a parched land. Selah. Answer me quickly, oh Lord, my spirit fails. Do not hide your face from me, or I will become like those who go down to the pit. Let me hear your loving kindness in the morning.
Apologies.
For I trust in you. Teach me the way in which I should walk. For to you I lift up my soul. Deliver me, oh Lord, from my enemies. I take refuge in you. Teach me to do your will. For you are my God. Let your good spirit lead me on level ground. For the sake of your name, oh Lord, revive me in your righteousness. Bring my soul out of trouble. And in your loving kindness, cut off my enemies and destroy all those who afflict my soul. For I am your servant.
Amen, amen, amen. So the question is, yeah, that was from Chris Oakey. For those that want to follow Chris Oakey, he can have all his Psalms on a playlist. It's made already, and you can go to Suno, is his Suno account, and you can see them all there. That's amazing, beautiful. Now, with that, the question was, am I going to go back to the beginning and start with Psalm 1? Now, I think because we've done the Psalms, what I'd like to do, and I think this would be, I would like to go back to the Bible again and maybe start reading Matthew, and maybe each day we just read one chapter, one chapter. So we'll read Matthew 1, chapter 1, Matthew 1, and we'll read through Matthew 1 at the end of the life, so that we go through the Bible as well, about the rest of the Bible as well as the Psalms. So we now, I mean, we've done 143 Psalms together, guys, which is brilliant. So at least we get something at the end of our days. So then we go back to Matthew, and maybe then we can also start discussing Matthew, looking at it and understanding it through the lens of the Bible, both at the time of the people who it's spoken to. We need to look at its understanding throughout time, both from the Old Testament and the New Testament, and then we can look at those verses and how they point to Jesus. And I think that's important, because not only a type of Bible study with a bit of an understanding of what these verses are pointing to and what they're saying. So that I'm not doing no Bible study. I just want to read the Bible so that we have together some kind of understanding what the Bible is actually teaching. And if we have to do a wee bit of, understanding Bible study before we end the lives, that'll be fine. But I just think that a lot of us are so busy watching drama and all this other stuff on the internet, we're forgetting to open our Bible. So if this is just me, so far we've got 120, 140 people, 130 people listening on both YouTube and TikTok. If I can get 5 people of all of you, even if it's 2 people, 1 person, and we read the Bible together, then that person as me as well. We've now gone through some, because when I'm done over here, man, you guys have no idea how many things I've got to do. I'm running out of time. But guys, God bless. Jay, Ave,
Thanks for having me. God bless.
you want to say anything else, my brother?
No, we're good. Thank you for having me. God bless. Great live.
God bless.
Love
Man.
the topic. God bless, James. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Take care, my brother. God bless you. Okay, guys, just remember, remove the hate, the pride, and the ego. Humble yourselves. Put Christ first. And remember, Muslims, we love you. I need to go. God bless.